Tonight on 7, baby doe identified.
Her name was Bella.
Her own mother charged.
There's no justice here. I mean, a little girl lost her life.
A community hoping for closure.
It was a baby. I mean, you don't do that to a baby.
Months of searching, thousands of tips, and finally tonight, answers.
Months after her body was found on Deer Island, we now have learned the identity of baby doe. She's 2-year-old Bella Bond. I'm good evening. I'm Ryan Schulteis.
And I'm Elizabeth Nareka. Today, detectives arrested the girl's mother and her boyfriend. We have night team coverage of this story from across the region, including an interview with Bella's biological father. But let's begin with the night team Cheryl Fiandaca in the newsroom with the very latest. Cheryl?
Yeah, Elizabeth, Bella's mother telling investigators her boyfriend punched the 2.5-year-old in the stomach and that killed her. That is according to sources who say they have evidence that Bella's death was violent.
We now know baby doe is Bella Bond. After 85 days, prosecutors have identified the little girl and the person who police say killed her. Michael McCarthy, her mother's boyfriend. Bella's mother, Rochelle Bond, is charged with being an accessory to murder.
Something like this hits us all hard. I think everyone has young children, and I think to learn today that the young baby doe was not even 3 years old, I think obviously breaks everybody's heart.
The investigation started with a tip to the Boston police from a woman who said Bella's mom told her about the young girl. That tip led state police investigators to this Maxwell Street home in Dorchester, where Bella lived with her mom and where prosecutors say she was murdered.
And the tragedy of her death is compounded by the fact that her short life ended not by illness or accident, but we believe by an act of violence in the very place where she should have felt safest, in her home.
Rochelle wasn't at the Dorchester home when police executed several search warrants last night. Sources say it was Rochelle's cell phone signal that led them to an address in Lynn, where police found her this morning with Bella's biological father. Both went voluntarily with investigators to answer questions. He was later released. Rochelle's boyfriend, who is charged with Bella's murder, is at Beth Israel Hospital under police guard. He's being treated for a medical condition unrelated to this case. Sources say Rochelle told investigators he punched Bella several times in the stomach.
But we think, based on what we learned, we know, we have very powerful evidence, we believe, that has provided us a manner of death which we will be able to prove in court.
The Department of Children and Families had been involved with the Bond family. DCF provided support for neglect from August of 2012 until December of 2012, when the case was closed. 6 months later, the department also investigated the family from June of 2013 until September of 2013 because of neglect. That case was also closed. And the department says that's why Bella wasn't found when the state was researching their records for the child's identity.
Well, both Rochelle and McCarthy will be arraigned on Monday in Dorchester District Court when prosecutors say they will present the rest of the evidence of how Bella was killed. In the newsroom, I'm Cheryl Fiandaca.